welcome to On Air with Russell of Hotels, where we talk about everything hospitality, from hotels to influencers and everything in between. We will feature guest interviews with hospitality professionals who will share their experiences. Your host, Russell Edmond, has spent over 25 years in the hospitality industry, beginning his career with Marriott International in hotel operations before moving into the sales arena and becoming a relationship building director of sales and marketing. Russell then went to the other side as a hospitality entrepreneur. He now consults in the hotel and meeting space, which includes being the CEO of Russell of Hotels Group. Did I mention he was a veggie foodie? Yes. Russell is always looking for good non-meat eats. Please welcome your host, Russell Edmond.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels live hospitality talk show. Hope all is well. Let me just turn that down a little bit. I was getting some feedback, but you know what? I know how to fix it now, so it's okay. All right, it's okay if you get a little feedback as long as you know what you're doing. Right, you can take care of that. Today is Tuesday, January 25th. Show number 144, On Air with Russell of Hotels. I mean, this is 144 shows. I say this every other show. Like, I can't believe I actually completed one show. And you know what the average for a podcast, you know what the average length of shows that the average podcast goes is 6. Okay, so if you're thinking about doing a podcast or anything like that, the magic number is 6. Okay, you want to make sure you get past that because there's like a million podcasts that are out there, right? Different whatever genres of podcasts, but the average length of it is 6 shows because people get frustrated. They get, I don't think I'm getting engagement. I don't think people like what I'm doing. I don't blah 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 blah. So what's the thing? Have thick skin, and you can't really care what people are gonna say because you're always gonna get some haters, right? You're always gonna get people that don't want you to do it, or why are you doing that? Or what do you talk about on this show? I mean, who are you? Why do they want to listen to you? I mean, there's various different things of opinions that people have about podcasts and things like that. But guess what? There's a niche for every person out there that's doing a podcast. So if you're on the fence about doing one, what do I say? I say do it, okay? Because if I can do it, if Russell of Hotels can do it, you can do it too. And if you have any questions at all about doing a podcast or a show like this, just let me know. I mean, I can steer you in the right direction, or at least let you know how I got started and, you know, some of the tools that I use and things like that. So it's all about helping the next person out that wants to do it, okay? So boom, there it is. You guys know what today is? I didn't know this, but it's National Plan for Vacation Day. What is that? I mean, there's a day for this? I didn't know that. This is the first time I've ever seen it. Okay, I don't know if this is a new thing that just added to the national book. You know, I'm not sure, but I just happened to see it. Matt Bark, who is I think national sales exec with Visit Palm Springs, he actually sent this. I got an email right before the show, and I said, let me type this on here real quick. So thank you, Matt Bark. I didn't know that, so if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know what the National Plan for Vacation Day is. So, and in fact, since you were talking about Visit Palm Springs or Discover Palm Springs, or I can't think of what it's called, but Palm Springs, CVB, hey, why not plan a vacation in Palm Springs? Call up Matt Bark. You got groups, things like that? Call up Matt Bark. Tell him Russell of Hotels sent you, okay? Because he was so gracious enough to send me that information so I can share it with you guys. Because I guarantee there's someone on this podcast that's listening didn't know today was National Plan Your Vacation Day. So anyway, hey, you know what? I encourage, this is, like I said, it's On Air with Russell of Hotels. We encourage, what am I trying to say? Engagement. We encourage engagement. We encourage comments. We encourage people who want to get involved. And I got 2 people that are involved. Lonnie Wolf, he is from Ocean Ridge, Florida. He says, hello from beautiful Ocean Ridge, Florida. Yes, you got this, Russell. Yeah, you know what? I know I got it. Thank you. Show number no, show number 144. Is it? Did I put show number 140? Wait a minute, Lonnie. What are you saying? Did I mess up here? No, show 144. See, Lonnie trying to throw me off here. Okay, it's show number 144, Lonnie. Don't try to throw me off like that. I love what you do and your commitment to the Tuesdays. Yes, every Tuesday, rain or shine, I'm going to do it. And I'm in beautiful Cabrillo Marina today. Okay, you can see the backdrop. That's Cabrillo Marina. That's in San Pedro, which is right outside of Los Angeles. It's in Los Angeles County. There's a the picture is from there's a DoubleTree right there. So the picture is actually this is the backdrop for the DoubleTree. Okay, just in case you want to know. So if you're going to beautiful Cabrillo Marina, and you want a hotel to stay in, check out the DoubleTree. Okay, did I tell you that I was the director of sales and marketing there at one time? And that was one of the 14 hotels. You guys know I've been to 14 different hotels, right? So I worked 14 different hotels. So I was a director of sales and marketing there. So just so you know, right? So, but thank you, Lonnie Wolf. I appreciate that. And let's see, Robin Moncrief, Don't Look Under the Bed podcast. She says hello. Well, hello, Russell. Oh, hello to you, Robin. And she says hi to Lonnie too. So they're both going back and forth. So that's what we encourage. We encourage that on air with Russell of Hotels. We want people to engage in what's going on. We throw their content out there, throw their comments, questions, or whatever, and I'll do my best to answer. If there's questions or comments, I'll do my best to address them. So they are so welcome. Okay, so but thank you guys so much for being always involved and always present in the show. I do appreciate that. In fact, the show is lonely when you guys aren't on it. So thank you so much. Let me open up my notes here because let's see. Okay, what's next? Okay, Hospitality Unplugged. What is Hospitality Unplugged? I always say this, hashtag Hospitality Unplugged. Everything that I do, posting, content creating, always ends with hashtag Hospitality Unplugged. And as it relates to this show, we talk about everything hospitality, the good, the bad, the ugly. We talk about trends in the market or trends within the industry. What's going on. How is COVID, affecting people, traveling, and what markets are hot right now. The leisure market. Which ones are down? The business traveler. I mean, those are things that we talk about: the good, the bad, the ugly. We just share things. We talk about influencers. I have influencers on here, travel advisors, all those people, restaurants. We talk about restaurants. We talk about food, non-meat eats. We talk about all that stuff. So stay tuned. Buckle your seatbelt because we're going to go in for a ride right now. Okay, so that was funny. Okay, at least it was funny to me. So okay, I talk about industry news, right? Industry news. American Lodging Investment Summit that's going on right now here in LA. That's at the JW Marriott. Just in case you want to know, the JW Marriott is downtown LA. So that conference went from the 23rd to the 25th. Now that's an investment summit or an investment conference. Hotel investors come in. You talk about the trends. You talk about every hotel company is represented at this. You got Marriott, Hilton. You got Red Roof Inn. You got Choice Hotels. You have every hotel chain imaginable selling their. That's where you can go and get a franchise and things like that. You get information about what's going on in the industry, things like that. So that's right down the street from me. I mean, I could be there right now. I should have been doing this show from there. No, I don't think so. But so that's what's happening. And I'll just tell you this. If you're investing in a hotel, the hottest hotels right now are the limited service ones, okay? You don't want a full service hotel right now, okay? Because no one's staying at full service hotels. The big box hotels, people aren't staying at those hotels right now. Those are the ones that are, can I say this, sucking wind right now, okay? Well, it depends on the market. I mean, some markets are probably better than others, but across the board, those hotels are suffering. It's the limited service, like your Hilton Garden Inns, your Hampton Inns, your what do you call it? Even the Fairfields, which are economy brand, Red Roof Inns. Those are the ones that are doing well now because they don't have food and beverage operations, right? So that means they don't have that extra, you know, layer of employees. They're not dealing with food. They're not dealing with any of that stuff. So those are the hotels that are, for the most part, are doing okay. So if you're investing in a hotel, my advice, boom, buy a limited service or an economy hotel. Okay, but remember, location, location, location. So if you're ever buying something, those are the three things you need to worry about. Smart Meetings 1 day conference, the February 23rd at the London Hotel in WeHo. Now, I just got some notification that I may not be able to go to this thing now because I may have to be in Atlanta that same day or the next day. So it depends on when I have to be in Atlanta or what time as to if I'm going to be able to make that conference. I've already signed up to go. I was looking forward to it, but something just came up. I mean, within the last hour, something came up, and I'll share that with you later. Okay, so let me read the comments. Lonnie says, oh, he says, hi, Robin. Okay, they're having their own conversations right there. Robin says, select services, killing it right now. Boom. Didn't I just say that? I wasn't even looking at the comments, okay? I just said it, and then she said that. So thank you so much, Robin. I love boutique open air space properties. Yes, Dylan Beaumont, financially hard times really encourage spenders to reconsider extravagance and spend more and spend more moderately. So would you say, Dylan, because Dylan's a GM, he's a GM, and I forget the hotel, but I know it's in Eugene, Oregon. Okay, was it a Fairfield Inn? I think it was a Fairfield Inn in Eugene, Oregon. So, because I know, go Ducks. Okay, so I remember that. Okay, so I always remember people when they come on, especially people who come on the show. I appreciate that. So would you agree that hotels, or if you're buying a hotel, the better hotels to buy would be the ones that you want to invest in are the economy, the limited service hotels. Would you say that, Dylan? I'm just asking. Robin's already said it. She's already chimed in. Robin's she's a sales professional. At what is the hotel you're at, Robin? I forget. Throw me the hotel so I can give you a shout out too. But Robin and Nikki have this podcast, their own podcast called Don't Look Under the Bed. And guess what? I was on the show last week. So they had asked some great questions. We had fun. We laughed. That's what it's all about, right? If you can go on someone's show and you just laugh more than you're talking about whatever, that's a great show. That's how I look at it, because no one should take themselves that serious, okay? So you can get information out to people and still have fun, okay? Regardless of what's going on in the world. I mean, so many things are going on that are negative. These shows, I think, and I try to make this as fun and as funny as possible, because there's information there. I mean, there's good information, there's serious information there sometimes, but you got to have fun doing it, right? So if you're not having fun doing certain things, maybe you need to do something else. That's what I say. If I can't come on the show and laugh and talk crazy, then I don't need to be doing it. Okay, so that was a good one. So, okay, those are the two conferences that are going on. I have some other stuff as far as some what do you call it? Industry news is concerned, but I do have. I must have done something wrong here. But anyway, industry news, smart meetings. I already said that. The Omicron. Omicron. That's a Greek letter, right? Omicron is a Greek letter. Just so people don't even know that, but it's a Greek letter. But anyway, I don't even know why I said that. Is it putting a strain on hotels in Southern California? It is putting a strain on hotels in Southern California. I just talked to, my resident expert. He's a VP of a company here, a hotel company here in LA, and I get a lot of my information through him. It doesn't matter who he is, and I wouldn't say at this point anyway. But he's saying that it's putting a strain on hotels in Southern California, the big box hotels. So that's where I get the information as far as the limited service hotels are doing a lot better, because he's telling me this, right? So he has some limited service hotels in his portfolio as well as some big boxes. And the big boxes are suffering because guess what? There's no group. They survive off a group. Leisure market is doing well right now. The markets that aren't doing well are the corporate, because nobody's back to work yet, right? So if people are back in their offices, then they're more likely they're going to be traveling. Okay, so that business travel, or they call it the BT market, business traveler market. Okay, those markets are down. group corporate are down. There's some leisure stuff going on, and there are some. Don't get me wrong. There are some meetings that are going on that are happening, but they're nowhere near how they were before. I was just on the phone with a meeting planner, a colleague of mine, and she said they've been planning meetings, but what they end up doing because of this recent Omicron surge or whatever, they changed those in-person meetings to virtual meetings. Okay, so a lot of that stuff is going on. So people are planning, in-person meetings, but due to the rise in the Omicron thing, they are rethinking that and say, you know what, let's sit this one out as far as the in-person meeting is concerned, and let's do a virtual. Let's turn this one into a virtual. So that's what's been going on. So, and I'm not saying across the board. I'm saying the people that I've talked to here in SoCal, that's what they're telling me. So, so there you go. So those are just some. That's just some information that I've been told, and I always want to share that with you. And I always get it right before the meeting, right? And did you guys know the Super Bowl is here in 3 weeks? Just in case you did not know, you forgot, the Super Bowl is in Los Angeles, or actually at Inglewood. It's the SoFi Stadium where the Rams and Chargers play. So wouldn't that be dope if the Rams beat San Francisco, which they need to, because did I say I wasn't a San Francisco fan? Well, I'm not. I'm not really a big Rams fan, but I want them to beat San Francisco. Okay, so there you go. All right, so that should be interesting. My contact also said that yeah, it's going to be busy during Super Bowl here in LA, but it would be busier if, say, like Buffalo was coming. Okay, because Buffalo has a huge fan base that will travel. I mean, it's going to be sold out anyway with corporate sponsorships and things like that. But wouldn't that be great if a lot of people from Buffalo were able to come? Well, guess what? They're not coming because they got beat. So we don't even have to talk about them. So what's going on? What other comments? Location. Thank you for the shout out and the Don't Look Under the Bed podcast. Of course, Robin. Robin's my new girl. So yeah, of course I'm gonna throw you out there. Oh, she's at the Residence Inn. I support two properties. She's at the Residence Inn Marriott. Okay, go ahead, Robin. So she's just doing her thing over there. Lonnie, location and excellent guest review, scoring at 90%. Excellent. Wins to include a great ADR. Yes. Okay. Dylan says, I thought it was nice that you and Robin both said you fall back on your yes, 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 Dylan, yes. Yeah, we both fall back on that. And thanks for listening to the podcast. I appreciate that. So Dylan, who's a GM at the Fairfield Inn in Eugene, Oregon, he made a comment about, which means he listened to the podcast, right? The Don't Look Under Your Bed podcast with Robin that I was on last week, and Robin and Nikki, excuse me. And he said he made a comment about we both fall back on our Marriott experience. Robin and I both, I'm not sure if she started with Marriott. I started with Marriott, right? So we both have Marriott experience. So we fall back on those trainings, right? So from day one, Marriott would, throw different things at you, right? And those things resonated with you. Is the biggest thing that resonated with me with Marriott was had to do with how to treat your employees. Treat your employees well, and they will in turn take care of the guests, and that's what you want, right? Take care of your employees, and they will in turn take care of the guests, and that's what you want. And then guests will continue to come back. So that came down from Mr. Marriott, and that was one of the things that was from day one was like, this is the thing you need to worry about. Take care of your employees, and that sometimes we forget about that stuff. And I hate to say this, but no, I don't hate to say it, but I think some of the reasons why some employees don't want to come back to work within the space is because they weren't taken care of. They want to appreciate it. And those things, if we're doing that day in and day out, then we don't have a problem with bringing people back or people wanting to come back. Okay, so make sure you're taking care of your employees. And that's not just for the hotel industry, that's for any industry. You know what? And now people are scrambling around trying to find employees and all this kind of stuff, because if we took care of the people that we had, maybe we wouldn't have to worry about that, right? Maybe they would just come back, like because they love working there. Let's think about that. But anyway, that's just thought I'd throw it out there. But thank you so much, Dylan, for bringing it up there. So because Marriott, I always said this, and I will always say this: Marriott, they set the bar high. I still draw on that experience to this day. Even doing this show, some of the things that I learned there, I still it transcends to whatever business you're doing. Okay, so there you go. And Mr. Marriott is checking the mail. That was a joke. Okay, that was a joke. Okay. Did I tell you I actually met Mr. Marriott before? He came in. It just you just say hi. It's not like we're sitting there palling around having a powwow and things like that. He was walking through. He did a walkthrough. So they're big on doing walkthroughs. So we were. This is Courtyard. I was with Courtyard, right? LAX, which was in El Segundo then, and I was a housekeeping manager, right? So we're so proud of the cleanliness of that hotel, right? We would buff those floors so you can see there's a light above you. You could read the label on the light bulb, okay? That's how we would buff those floors or have those floors buffed because we wanted to see that. That was the gauge. If you can read in the floor the wattage number on the light bulb, your stuff was tight, okay? So I remember him coming in, and he didn't say this right away, but the comment he made to the VP, and I can't remember her name was Michelle Strike, okay, and they got back to us because she communicated with the general manager. The general manager told myself and this is when I was still under training, right? And he said those floors were magnificent. And I just knew that he meant that he could read the light bulb in the floor. Okay. So those are things that I remember, right? I mean, those are things that resonate with me even today. And that's been, it's been darn near 30 years ago. So anyway, and that just tells you how old I am, right? Well, no, I started when I was, 15. So there you go. But appreciate your team every day, 365 days. Longevity is the key. That is true, Lonnie. Robin, thank you so much for listening. The Marriott training, yes, Marriott training never ends. It keeps going. Okay, so they're big on training. So my advice to anyone, if you can get with a corporate Marriott property, they're big on training, right? And it was great that they were big on training because when I left Marriott, the other companies weren't, especially when you get into franchise properties. They're big on their training, but not big on the ways of Marriott. So that's what I mean. So, but anyway, I move on. So I talked about that. Let's see. 3 things that I'm doing this year. One is be intentional. Make decisions and take action on what's important to you. Okay. And this can go to you too. This is just for me. I'm saying this directly to you, but use these things how you want to use them, right? So be intentional. Make decisions and take action on what's important to you. Number 2, be you. That's what I always say this, and I always have to use this voice. Oh, be authentic. Be your authentic self. Be you. Okay. Don't be fake. Don't fake the funk. Okay, because people will know if you're fake. Okay. Number 3, be represented. Me, it's important that people that look like me know that I'm doing this show. Okay. On air with Russell of Hotels, and you see, oh, that guy, that's him. Yeah, that's me. Okay. So no, it's important that there's representation. Okay, and I'm here for it. Okay, because representation does matter. Okay, so because if I can do it, there's someone out there that looks like me that doesn't think they can do this. Okay, well, and there may be some people out there that don't look like me that think they can't do it. And guess what? You can do it. All right, so just make it happen. So be intentional, be you, be represented. Boom. That's it. That's it. I got it. I'm gone. Okay. So, all right. Being intentional about hotel ownership. I've been mentioning this for the last several weeks, and I'll probably be mentioning it for the next several weeks. Davon Reeves, I think she is a rock star. No, I don't think. She is a rock star in this industry. She's changing the game. She's buying hotels left and right. And she's not just buying hotels herself, but she's encouraging other people to invest in hotels. And guess which hotel she's encouraging to invest in? The limited service hotels, the economy hotels. Those are the things that she's encouraging because those are the hotels that she's buying. Okay, we're talking about your Hilton Garden Inns, your Hampton Inns, your Fairfield Inns, your Red Roof Inns, things like that. Those are the things that she's talking about buying, and Her goal, I think, this year is to, was it 222 hotels? She wants to encourage, or she wants to support people that want to buy, or the goal is to buy 222 more hotels this year. Not necessarily for her, but people that she's mentoring in this, hotel ownership thing, in the hotel ownership space. So you go, Davon Reeves. Okay, so I'm gonna continue to support you however I support you, and this is part of how I'm going to support you. So, if no one else knows about Davon Reeves, anyone that listens to this show or watches the show, they will know about who she is. And check this out. She has a book, How to Buy a Hotel. So look it up. It's available wherever you buy your books. Just Google it and you'll find it. A roadmap to hotel ownership. So make sure you make it happen. Davon is hot. She's lit. This is what Lonnie says. Davon is lit in the hotel industry, changing. What did he say? Did he say changing the game? Change the hotel landscape, one hotel at a time. See, even Lonnie knows this. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Lonnie Wolf is so impactful to enter a lobby and see glistening tile floors. Right? That's good work. That makes a big impression. Dylan, you have no idea. I mean, you do have an idea because you're a GM, but it just things that shine and sparkle. I don't know why that just resonated with me, and it probably came back to my training once again. But it was trained in me or instilled in me that if it's something like chrome or a shiny surface that should be shiny and is dull, that's not acceptable. So we would restrip floors, the they call them VAT floors, VAT floors. We would the tile floors, we would restrip those things if we didn't get the results that we wanted. If they weren't as shiny as we wanted, we would restrip those floors in a minute. Okay, so and redo them and make sure we applied the ammonia right, the wax right, everything. So I mean, I still remember that stuff. I can strip a floor right now if I had to. Give me the right equipment, I could do it now. With the right buffer, we can do it. We can make it happen now. So, but yeah, those are some fun times. Those are some good times and things that I'll never forget. And it's funny, I hadn't thought about that in years. Now all of a sudden, I'm just bringing it up like it was yesterday. So there you go. That whole nostalgia. I'm about to start crying in a minute. But you want to increase your social media engagement. Now, I did. If you notice, if you guys follow me on whatever LinkedIn, you'll see that I've been dissecting some of the things that I do on the show. Right, some of the things I do on the show, I'm dissecting some of them and doing a live on just that segment. Okay, so last week I just did a quick little live on LinkedIn about this very thing, increase social media engagements. And I'm going to continue to do certain things. So I'm going to dissect this show, things that I talk about, and I'm going to do a live just on those individual things because I think they're important, right? And I think there's people that they want to get involved in social media. They want to know how they can increase their social media engagement, but they don't know where to start, right? So, if I keep repeating things, people will maybe remember some of the things, or maybe people start asking questions. I don't know, but I'm here for the questions. If you have questions about anything social media engagement, that's what I'm here to do. Okay, I had to adjust my chair, so I had to turn my microphone off because my cord keeps hitting. That's one thing about these mics; they pick up every single thing. Okay, so if I hit my knee on this desk here, you're gonna hear it. So I had to, move back. So, but anyway, increase social media engagement. Number one was consistency. Make sure you do it all the time, or whatever schedule you come up with. If it's once a day, do it once a day. Okay, be consistent because people will start to expect it. Right? I post things every day, and if I don't post something, someone will say, "Hey," they'll text me, right? "Hey, I haven't seen anything from you." I'm like, "Who is this? Hey, how'd you get my number?" But yeah, so be consistent because people will start to expect it. Okay, like what is he going to talk about today? What is he going to show today? Whatever it is, he's going to show. And this is for your brand. So this is for either if you're the brand or you work for a brand. Okay, be consistent because people will expect it seriously. Like I said, I post every day, and you don't have to just limit it to one platform. Okay, so the best thing I can give you advice on is to post on multiple platforms because I got in trouble before, and I think I mentioned this before. I had gotten in trouble. I got suspended on Instagram for 14 days. Okay, so if you're a brand and you can't post on one platform for 14 days, that can kill your brand, right? So what did I do? Did I just wait for the 14 days? No, I started posting on other platforms. I did Twitter, I did LinkedIn, and I doubled up on those other platforms because I wanted to make sure that content got out. I did YouTube. That's when I started TikTok. I'm like, well, if YouTube, I mean, if Instagram's going to do this to me, then okay, I'm just gonna, I'm going all in now. So make sure you're consistent and you do not have to just only use one platform. Okay, and if you see, and this is one thing I never addressed, but most hotels that are not, um, the ones that post the most that I've seen are 4 and 5 diamond hotels. Social media is for everybody, right? So the least one, the hotels that are least likely to post stuff are the 3 diamond, which there's more 3 diamond hotels than anything, right? So I don't understand why they don't do that. You can do it too. You should do it, and those are the ones that I go after. Okay, the 4 and 5 diamonds, someone else can do that. I came up in the 3 diamond world. Okay, your courtyards, your full service Marriotts, but they were not 4 diamonds or 5 diamonds. Okay, they were maybe high 3 diamonds, which are still nice. But that's where I came in. That's the world I came in. Okay, and that's the world I'm going to stay in. All right, let someone else do the other ones. I'm here to help those hotels and any other businesses, but those hotels specifically. So, but yeah, consistency wins the race, just like Lonnie just said. Well, I said wins the race, but he said consistency wins. So same thing, right? So just make sure you're being consistent. Number two, value. Make sure you're adding value. This is how to increase social media engagement. One was consistency, and two is value. Make sure you have value. You're adding something. You're solving a problem. You're helping someone out. You're finding something for that person, or you're making it easier for them to do that particular task. Whatever it is, if you're planning a meeting, you don't know where to start. Look at some of my postings. I talk about that. Or you looking at hotels. I posted a hotel in Canada. Maybe you want a hotel in Montreal. You don't know where to start. Well, I just posted one today, so you can check it out. I mean, those are the things you want to make sure you're adding value to whoever's listening, right, or whoever's watching. Okay, so value is important, muy importante. And then the last one is authentic. Once again, it gets back to that thing. Be your, be your authentic self. Okay, be authentic, be real, be you, especially in social media, because people know the crap. Okay, they know the BS when they can smell the BS when you throw it out there. Okay, well, does Russell really do this stuff? Russell doesn't do. I'm gonna tell you this: anything I post, I do, or I was there. Okay, I'm not posting stuff and you back it up the camera and it's. I was watching this thing. Let me just. People will go through lengths to show people that they're, I guess, a boss or whatever. It is the funniest thing, and I can't think of this as like a documentary on social media. It had to do with social media. It was like on HBO, and I can't remember the name of it. I haven't seen it since because normally I watch things over and over again, and I didn't record this, but it was late night one time I was watching HBO. It had to do with social media, right? It was like they took 3 people that had no followers and really no experience on social media, and they made them into, I guess one of them made them into like a social media star, right? Well, they were doing this fake stuff. They were like, okay, say that, how you take pictures, and I do this all the time when I'm flying, going from, LA to Houston. Okay, so I always take a picture of the takeoff and the landing, and if it's daylight, I'll take a picture of some landmarks or whatever from the plane, right? And I post those things. Well, on this particular show, they were taking a picture of this young lady that had this. You would think, if it was posted on social media, you would think she was on a plane. But if you back away from it, I mean, like I said, it was a documentary, so you back away from the window or the simulated window, it was a toilet seat. So toilet seat was on the side, and it was like this, so it looked like a window. So if you take it at a right angle, it looks like an airplane window, but it was actually a toilet seat. I'm like, people will go through lengths to make them look, you know, whatever, more than what they are. Okay, but I said that to say this: be authentic, and anything that I post, if I'm eating non-meat eats, you can bet I'm eating the non-meat eats. If I'm flying somewhere, I'm going somewhere. Okay. If I'm planning a meeting, or if I show a hotel, I've been to that hotel. Okay, I've experienced that hotel. I'm not just there. I'm not just taking stock photos. Okay, and posting stuff. No, I've actually been to these places. So when I say be consistent, add value, and be authentic, I mean be authentic, because people will read through some of the stuff and then that's it. Okay. Okay. What else? Let's see. What am I looking at? Craig says, "Hey, Craig, what's going on? Hey, you're doing good. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that. What about more social media time? What do you mean? What is that? What do you mean? Like, what time should you be posting? I mean, what? Kind of explain that one to me, Craig. I'm not sure what that means. But yeah, so those are things that you need to do. And then what about this? Okay, this is. I always say this. Often, yeah, often being authentic, absolutely. Be your crazy you. Yes. So if you're silly, continue to be silly. If you're serious, that's who you are. Show that. Okay. Don't, because it wouldn't be me. You would read right through me if I came on here and I wasn't laughing, or I'm just serious and all this kind of stuff. No matter what's going on in my life, okay, I'm always going to find some, for whatever reason, to find something to be funny or laugh. Okay. Maybe that's how I deal with certain things, and that's okay, right? But that's how I've always been. My personality always comes out. And I remember when I first started the show, and I may have mentioned this before. My dad, back in 2019, when I first started the show, and it was the end of January 2019, and after I had I did it the first couple shows, and I sent it to him. I sent him a link so he can look at it. And then when I saw him in person, he said, you know what, that show is pretty good. And he said the reason why I like it is, he said, because it's showing your personality. You're not trying to be serious and stuff like that, because that's not you. I was like, thanks, Dad. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's what he said. So I'm like, yeah, be you. Because like I said, people can read through it. So if I came on here and started being serious, stop watching the show, okay? Because something's wrong. All right. So I'm being fake. All right. I've gone to the other side. So just remember, be real, be authentic, or whatever you want to put it. And using reels. So I always use this example. So, reels are on Instagram. Okay. It's a video where you can choose music. Music is a big thing in social media, right? So if you can find out which music is trending, right? And it doesn't matter what the video is, people are going to look at it because of the music. Okay, so you can find out which ones are trending. And once you do that, attach it to your video. And regardless what that video is, if it's a trending song, if it's still trending, because trends go up and down, whatever, people will watch it just because they see, okay, it's this music. So I'm like, that's crazy. So I didn't believe it. So I tried it. So I did a video. I attached a trending song to a video that I had done maybe a week prior. And let's just say that the video the week prior did maybe 100 people saw it, right? Well, when I added the trending song, like 350 people looked at it. So I mean, and I did it again, and it did it again, right? I did another video that I did, and I applied another trending song, and it doubled the engagement. So that's what you want, right? You want people to make comments, you want engagement, you want people to share it. Okay, if you can get people to share your videos, that's dope. Okay, if they share it, then it's going to the people that follow them. Okay, because within your account, you're only going to get so many people are going to see it, right? But you get more people when someone within your camp or your community shares it with their community. Then that's when stuff starts to go viral, when it does that. Okay, so just a little information. So yeah, do reels or do lives. Like this is a live. This is considered a live. You can do Instagram live. You can do Facebook live. You can do LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok. You can do all those, and Twitch. You can do that as well. So that's how you increase your engagement. I'm gonna die when I see someone from a hotel walking through the lobby doing a live, talking to guests as they're walking by. Hey, I'm Russell Edmond. I'm the director of sales and marketing at Hotel Russell of Hotels at the Russell Hotel. And hey, Mr. So and So. Hey, how do you like staying here? I mean, I would die if I saw that. Okay, because that's gonna get so much engagement. It's gonna be sick. Okay, I'm telling you. Okay, you have to think outside the box. You have to be creative. You have to do something that no one else is doing. What is that called? That's called dang, I can't even think of my own term, right? Um oh man. I'm at a loss here. So anyway, let me read the comments. So and then maybe it'll jog my memory. How's your consultancy how has your consultancy went recently? I believe you're addressing me, Dylan. Oh, yeah. Dylan, are you addressing myself or you're addressing Lonnie? Oh, I guess he's addressing Lonnie. Okay. And then Craig says, do more social media and share your business. Yeah, exactly, Craig. Thank you so much. Yeah. Do more social media and share your business. Whatever you're doing, make sure you share that because it's all about your brand, right? Whatever your brand is, whatever your brand is doing, you need to do that. Okay, you need to make sure that happens. Let's see. There was something that I had forgotten that I can't even think about what the heck I'm trying to say here. But we're going to continue on and it'll come up in a minute. Hiring. Who's hiring? Now, I do have a couple positions here. Visit Anaheim is hiring. Okay, they're hiring for a tourism and partnership manager, and that's in Anaheim, obviously. So Visit Anaheim is the Anaheim Convention and Visitors Bureau, and that's where Mariles Kroc and Junior Tavaha. That's where they work. Okay, they're both VPs there. They're both personal friends of mine, and they're friends of the show. Okay, in fact, Mariles has been on the show at least twice. Okay, so Visit Anaheim tourism and partnership manager. They're hiring for that. Conrad Los Angeles. They're looking for a director of sales and marketing. The Saguaro in Palm Springs. I love that hotel in Palm Springs. Right there on. Is it on Palm? It's on 111, and I can't think of the street that it's on, but it's on 111. It's the brightest hotel in that area. I mean, bright is in color. Love that hotel. They're looking for a brand experience manager. The Line Hotel, which is it's in Los Angeles, but it's in K-Town, Koreatown. I love that area. I used to work at that hotel, but it wasn't the Line Hotel then. It was called the Wilshire Plaza Hotel. It was a Wilshire Plaza before it became the Line Hotel. I was the director of sales and marketing there. Another one of those 14 hotels. I love that area though. The food in that area. Oh my God, I don't even want to get started on that. I think that was before I became non-meat eats though. I would think I was still eating probably seafood or something like that. I wasn't a non-meat eats then, but the food there in Koreatown, oh my gosh. Let me stop. Let me stop. I'll stop being a non-meat eater. Okay, so they're looking for a brand experience manager too. So those two hotels must be managed by the same company. Maybe they're even owned by the same company because they're looking for brand experience manager. That's not a common position that's open, right? So it has to be unique to that particular company. That's just my observation. And the Fairmont Century City just reopened. It used to be the Hyatt, I believe, Century City. Yeah, it used to be the Hyatt before. Now it's the Fairmont Century City. They redid that hotel, beautiful. They're looking for a hotel manager. And then I have a special thing here. This is non-hotel related. There's an organization that I do work with, and I help them occasionally on a consulting basis. They're called the Good Seed Community Development Corporation. They're based in South LA, looking for case workers. So if anyone knows about the Good Seed, they're basically they assist the homeless youth population in LA, which every night there's at least 10,000 homeless youth, and that range goes from 16 to 25. There's over 10,000 homeless youth on the street every night in LA County. Okay, so the Good Seed CDC, they're taking it on. They're nonprofit. They're trying to help those people out. They're trying to get people off the street, into homes, into shelters, which is a short-term thing, but into long-term housing. So with jobs and things like that. So the case managers would be in charge of, finding housing for them, making sure they get their health screening and checkups, making sure if they don't have Social Security cards and numbers, they get those driver's license numbers or ID cards and all that stuff. So that's what a case manager would do. And if you're interested in any of that, you can contact me, okay? But I'm gonna give you another email address, or just I'm gonna give you an email address. You just send it to that one because that's probably the easiest way to do it. Because if I give you another one, it'll be confusing, and I don't want to confuse people. But yeah, so I'm involved in this. I've been involved with this organization from its infancy, so it goes back about 12 or 13 years that I was volunteering my time there. And every time they need, some special projects or things like that, I assist them with that. So they're looking for this, and I said, you know what, I can mention this on the show because you never know who's listening or who's watching or who knows someone in the LA area that wants to be a case manager or wants to get back to the homeless population, wants to help get those people off the street. So boom, that's what it's all about. Non-meat eats, okay? I didn't think I'd ever get to this part, okay? So two things, okay? I think I mentioned last week that Chipotle, came out with this plant-based chorizo, okay? And of course I had to go try it. So it's all vegan, all plant-based. I had to go in and try it, okay? So I did, and I was pleasantly surprised how good this chorizo was because I eat soy riso from Trader Joe's. Of course, I have to prepare it myself and put it in my own burrito, right? But that's okay. I mean, I cook. I don't know if you know that, but I do cook. So I said, let me try this at Chipotle, and it was very good. It was very good. I definitely would go back. It's not. I have to say this. Not as good as the soy riso at Trader Joe's, but it's pretty close. Okay, I can tell the difference. It's pretty close though, but it's very good. So if anyone wants to try it, plant based, the burrito, or you can put it in the taco, you can put it on the salad. It doesn't matter, but it's the plant based chorizo. Okay, I have to use my accent when I say that. So yeah, try it. It was very good. And then I went to this restaurant. Of course, non-meat eats. Everything's non-meat eats when it comes to me. That means I'm a vegan. I have vegan ways, or I'm 100% plant-based. Just in case you didn't know what non-meat eats means, but the non-meat eats hashtag non-meat eats. I came up with that several years ago. And any food that I post, if you look at my IG pages or whatever, any platform that I'm on, if I post food, it's always non-meat eats. It's always either plant-based or vegan, and yeah. So the hashtag non-meat eats is all Russell of Hotels. Okay, just so you know. All right. So but check that out. And then okay, so I went to this restaurant called Kale My Name, Kale Kale, which is owned by Tabitha Brown. Okay, now some people may know, some may not know who Tabitha Brown is. She's an actor, but her real big claim to fame is she was a vegan, started posting things on Instagram and TikTok, and it just blew up. Okay, so she has over I want to say between 3 and 5 million followers. Okay, she's wrote a bestseller on the New York Times. She's been on the Ellen Show. She's been on. She has a reoccurring role on this show called The Chi, which takes place in South Chicago on is it on Stars or HBO? I can't remember, one of those networks. But you're talking about someone that's lit, that's fire, and she just opened up two restaurants. She opened up one in Chicago and one in LA, which is in Encino, which is in the valley section of LA. So from where I live, it maybe take me 25 minutes to get there. So and Encino, if anybody knows Encino, that's where the Jackson 5 complex was. That's where they grew up, right? When they came from Gary, Indiana, they came to Encino. So that's where their compound is. Okay, so if anybody knows, oh, Encino, that name sounds familiar. That city sounds, yeah, yeah, that's where the Jacksons came from. But anyway, her restaurant is on Ventura Boulevard in Encino. So I had these fried oyster. This is the second time I've been there. Okay, I had these fried oyster mushrooms. Oh my God, you talk about to die for. Golden brown, crispy. Let me stop. And then I got to meet Tabitha Brown, who happened to be there, and she was so gracious enough to allow us to take pictures with her. I actually did a video with her, and who does that? Who allows some clown to come up there and do a video, and I'm the one doing the talking, right? So, yeah, so it was great. It was a great experience, and that's what it's all about, right? So, it's and like I said, I'm all about branding, not just for myself or for companies that want me to do it for them. But if I go to a restaurant and I have great service, I'm gonna blow the heck out of that place, and that's what I'm doing with Kale My Name. So if you're ever in LA, Kale My Name, check it out. Plant based. If you need a plus one, I'm that plus one. Okay. If you don't have anyone to go with, you just need to go and try it out, and you don't want to go alone, call your boy and he'll do it. Okay. So, okay, let's see. I have some comments here. Excellent. I will DM you on LinkedIn. Okay, that's Lonnie, and we're making connections here. So that's Dylan and Lonnie going back and forth. Then Marsha says, "What is it made of, if not soy?" It's made out of pea protein. Yes. See, Dylan knows because Dylan's eating there. Okay. So, see, that's what I'm talking about. So it is good. I mean, whatever pea protein is, I know it's not meat, right? And they actually have pea milk. Milk made out of pea. Now I'm talking about green peas, okay? So green or yellow peas, okay? So stop. Somebody out there saying pea. Okay, no, natural pea protein. See, that's what I'm saying. Being your authentic self. That's me being myself, right? I'm not reaching to say stuff like that. That's me being me. Okay. So, but it's good, Marsha. I mean, I know you. Marsha's my sister. Okay. So, and she's a carnivore. Okay. Let's just throw it out there. And they don't believe in my ways. Okay. So they don't adapt to how I am. They like, there's Russell going off on another tangent. Okay. That's how they look at me, right? And some of my older brother Stacy, he'll appease me every now and then. He's like, oh yeah, I can eat that. Yeah, yeah, he'll do that. But Marsha, she don't do that. She won't. She won't even try some of the stuff that I would make. Okay, so, but anyway, so I don't expect her to go to Chipotle and order a chorizo soy. Sorry, a plant based chorizo burrito. Okay, she won't do that. So, but anyway, I'm sure she got a laugh out of that one. Okay, what's next? What's next? We're winding down here. I appreciate you guys. It's on air with Russell of Hotels. Of course, I'm going off on tangents today, and like I said, I love the comments. So that makes the show a little longer because of the comments, right? But that's good. So what I need to do is maybe cut down on the content that I have and concentrate on that. And that's what I'll do. If I continue to get, a lot of comments, I will definitely, you know, limit some of the stuff that I talk about. Now, hotels are my thing, okay? I'm an expert on hotels, tourism, and non-meat eats, as you just heard. And so if someone asks me, what do you do in a noisy digital space? I keep your brand noticed. So whatever that means, Marcia says, I eat the oyster mushrooms before the pea protein, okay? And Lonnie says, that's your authentic you. Yeah, I'm being authentic, Lonnie. That's how I get down. But in a noisy digital space, I keep your brand noticed. So, and I do that through digital marketing, social media, branding, all those things. So, like this is a branding this Cabrillo Marina. I just don't have, the only thing that's missing here is that it doesn't say Cabrillo Marina in the background. So if I did that, that'd be perfectly a branding experience for the Cabrillo Marina. Okay. On air with Russell of Hotels. Hey, on air with Russell of Hotels, they put your brand on their show. Like, what are you talking about? So you can easily, like, if a hotel, like say Dylan, wanted to put his hotel right here. So this is Dylan's hotel, the Fairfield Inn in Eugene, Oregon. I mean, he can do that. That would be, I can brand Dylan's hotel for him, on my show. I mean, that's how a sponsorship would work. Okay, so I just you see how I just threw that in there, right? So, but yeah, those are things that I do. So in a noisy digital space, I keep your brand noticed through things like I just gave an example of how I could blow up Dylan's hotel for him. So, and then what else? Hotel site selection. So I assist companies and organizations with finding the right hotel for their meetings. It can be corporate meetings if they're still doing those. It can be association. It can be leisure, family reunions, things like that. I do all that stuff. So, you have any questions about that at all? I mean, you always can feel free to reach out to me. And I am a show host of course, on air with Russell of Hotels. And I just read this the other day. I mean, I always had this up here where it says the top 25 international podcasts. What I did miss was it's the top 25 international hotel podcasts that you should listen to or watch. It was in 2021, but I saw that same list. It got changed to 2022, and I'm still on that list, right? So last year, 2021, I started off as number 11, ended up at number 17. I checked it again. Now I'm number 16. Okay, so I'm the 16th show that you should watch on a hotel podcast. So there you go. As long as I'm on that list, it doesn't matter where I am. I can be number 25. It doesn't matter as long as I'm on the list. So I appreciate that. Um, how do you get a hold of me? Contact me at my email is russell at russellofhotels.com. Social media at Russell of Hotels. So LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter at Russell of Hotels. Please, that's how. Okay, There's another comment here. James Brown. That's how you make smart suggestions. Yes, sir. And thank you so much, James Brown, Mr. Brown, for coming on. Now, Mr. James Brown, he made a comment. He saw Don't Look Under the Bed podcast. I think he saw the one that I was a guest on with Nikki and what is this? See, now I'm getting all kind of stuff here. People are like, "Are you on your show?" I'm getting text messages, right? So anyway, with Nikki and Robin. So he made a comment about that. He thought the show was good. I appreciate that, Mr. Brown. That's what I do. I'm gonna give a shout out to people that I see coming on. People, especially he made a positive comment, and I appreciate that. I appreciate support, and he came back on the show, and he's watching my show today. So that's what I'm talking about. So that's where that representation matters. I said, okay, being intentional. This is being intentional. This is being a marketing disruptor. Okay, that's the term I was trying to list. I was trying to use a while ago. You got to be a marketing disruptor. You got to go against the grain. You got to do things that no one else is doing. You've never done before. Up until 2-3 years ago, I had never done a podcast before. Okay, so I said, you know what? How can I be a marketing disruptor? Boom, I'm coming with a podcast. So I did that. All right. It's the same thing with social media, right? You have to be a marketing disruptor. You have to do things that no one else is doing, go against the grain. And I guarantee you, hotel people, everyone's not doing uh, lives or their own podcast, or they're not posting things with hip music or cool music or music, whatever. Okay. No one's doing that, right? So I don't do it for me. I do it for the people that are listening, the recipient, the people that I'm marketing to. Okay, so and you don't know who that is or who your community is until you start throwing things out there. And if you don't get engagement, that means you're doing something wrong. And you need to go back and rethink it and retweak it. Okay, but doing it with what I mentioned, the reels earlier. You do things with reels, with the music, trending music. You're more likely to get people to watch your video if you use some music that's been trending. Okay, so those are things that I, try to let people know, teach people, train them, whatever you want to put it, however you want to flip it or whatever. But that's what I try to do. Okay, so follow me on LinkedIn, IG, YouTube, and Twitter. LinkedIn is at Russell Edmond. That's my real name. But IG, YouTube, and Twitter at Russell of Hotels. Okay, so there you go. That's my alter ego, Russell of Hotels. Three things, three things to ask yourself. And we're winding down here. Let me just look at the comments. Thanks. This is from Lonnie Wolf. Okay, well, let me hold on one second. Okay, Craig says, "See you later. I'll be listening to your podcast later." Thank you, Craig, very much. Listen to Craig's show, Baseball Talk, on Spotify. Craig's a friend of mine. Lonnie Wolf says show number 144 was lit. Thank you so much, Lonnie. Thanks, Russell, for being your authentic you. No, I appreciate that. And guess what? I haven't mentioned this yet. I'm going to wait to the end of the show, but Lonnie may be signing off. Lonnie's going to be on the show next Tuesday, okay? So make sure you're here. Lonnie Wolf is going to be on the show. So I appreciate that, Lonnie, finally telling me, he has some dates available that, he can be on the show. He's a busy guy, and I appreciate him taking the time to be on the show. So, and Lonnie says, be noisy and get noticed. That's what social media is all about. My dad used to say, when someone was, acting up, okay, he would say they were kicking up dust and raising sand. That's what he would say. So I'm saying social media is that. It's a way that you can kick up dust and raise sand, okay? That means get attention, okay, in a positive way. Well, hopefully it's a positive way. But yeah, so my dad always say, he was out there kicking up dust. He was raising sand. I'm like, okay, all right. I got you. That means he was, he was doing the most. Okay, he shouldn't have been doing that stuff. But within social media world, we can do that. Okay, the one that makes the most noise in a noisy digital space will be noticed. Okay, and that's what you want. You want you want brands that are being noticed. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Craig. Yes, we'll do that, Craig. Thank you so much. So 3 things to ask yourself. Number 1, what is your brand doing to stay relevant? What are you doing? Are you doing anything? Number 2, how are you connecting with your past or current clients or customers? What are you doing? You taking them to lunch like Robin? Robin's doing like specialized themed lunches for her clients. Okay, even if it's just one-on-one, she's doing like picnic tables in the lobby or in their restaurant, and serving picnic type foods like sandwiches with the crust cut off of them, or fried chicken, or potato salad, stuff like that. I threw the sandwich with the crust. I just threw that in there because I think of picnics and that's what you do. But anyway, she's doing things like that resonate with clients. That clients remember that stuff. Okay, you want to do things that people will remember. And number 3, are you marketing differently or the same as before all this crap started, all this COVID stuff? If you're marketing the same way, I think you may be missing the boat. Okay, you need to do things different. You need to, especially now that there's less people, there's more hotels. The same amount of hotels are still there, right, for the most part, but there's less people that want to stay at those hotels. So you have to stand out to those fewer people that are traveling, right, or that are having meetings. There's people that are still having meetings, but you want to stand out to those people. How do you stand out? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know what I would do, but how are you standing out? And that's what you have to think. That's what you have to ask yourself. How am I standing out to this group of, meeting planners or whatever, knowing that there's my competition is right there also. What are they doing? Find out what they're doing and do something else. Okay, do something different. Do something you've never done before. Be a marketing disruptor. Okay, I can't say that more than that. Okay. Oh boy, I'm done, right? So what is your SSI score? Okay, I'm gonna do this real quick. Okay, SSI score stands for Social Selling Index. Okay, so this is my score here. So I got a 69 out of 100, and you're voted, not voted, but these are the categories that are considered. Okay, so establishing your professional brand, find the right people, engage with insights, build relationships. Engaging with insights, that has to do with, if you see a posting and there's, let's say you see a picture or some content that you like, you make a comment on it. You have to make a comment on it. Like, oh, that's great. Thanks for the information. In fact, I saw something from Flavia, who was the director of sales and marketing for Visit Santa Cruz. So I saw something from her about Santa Cruz that I didn't know about. So I opened it up, I read it, and like, oh, that's interesting. So I made a comment on Flavia's page in the comment section on LinkedIn, said, hey, Flavia, thanks for sharing that information. That was great information about Visit Santa Cruz. I appreciate it. Those are the things, that's what engaging with insight is, okay? So the more you do that, the higher that score will go. find the right people, making sure you're LinkedIn wants you to link in with people within your network if you're doing a free listing. But if you're paying, they allow you, if you're paying the monthly subscription, they allow you to interact with people outside of your your tribe or your community. Because if I'm in hospitality, they want you to only be in with hospitality people. Okay, that's how they thought before, right? So, and I didn't figure this out until like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, because 2 weeks ago, I had never been a member, a paid, I never had a paid membership to LinkedIn up until 2 weeks ago. No, last week on Sunday. No, it was a week ago Sunday. Okay, something just hit me and said, why am I not getting some engagement that I should be getting? And it clicked. It finally clicked. Like, you're not a member. You don't pay. I said, well, let me try that and see if I'm getting more engagement. So I did it, and it took about a week, but now I'm starting to get some more engagement that I wasn't getting before. Okay, so you want to make sure that if you're paid, whatever, then you get other perks, I guess, is how I can put it. You get other perks, right? So this number should go up. I'm gonna say within the next 2 weeks, that 69 should at least be a 70. Okay, so this is my prediction. And then establishing your professional brand. Make sure people know who you are, what you do, and a lot of these lives and things like that, that helps out your cause. Build relationships. Number two, the last one. I got the highest score there because I guess if you have 26,000 people that you supposedly build relationships with, then you get a 25 out of 25. Okay, so there you go. So that all these numbers make up that score of 69. So, and then you look down here where it says people in your industry. So these are people within the hospitality field. Sales professionals in the hospitality industry have an average SSI score of 22. Okay, now mind you, I have 69. So, but I rank in the top 1%, okay, of this industry, of the sales professionals in the hospitality industry. And then the next one over here says people within your network. So it says they have 44 out of 100. So people in your network have an average SSI score of 44. But, I have 69, remember? So I'm in the top 4% of everyone in my network. So within my network, I have over, I want to say 26,000 people within the network. So there you go. So that kind of explains what the SSI score is. And the last thing, and what time is it? See, I've been going to about 2:10 lately, and I'm about 2:08 now. So I got 2 minutes to say what I have to say, but I have to open up my not my laptop, my what do you call this thing? My iPad to go through the last one. Okay, so I'm on the last one. We're in the home stretch now. But I thank you guys for joining. Any more comments? No, I don't have any more comments. So I always end the show with these three things, okay? So purpose is one. Make sure, purpose. Know why you do what you do, okay? I do this show, one, as a marketing disruptor. Yes, next Tuesday I will be live on Russell's show. Guaranteed, this is from Lonnie, guaranteed, what did it say? Guaranteed to be lit. Oh, okay, Lonnie. Guaranteed to be a lit show. Tell your hotel family to save the date. Have a great evening to all participants today. Thank you so much, Lonnie. I appreciate that. And I need a headshot and a bio from you. I'll email it to you, but just in case you're taking notes right now. But yeah, I'm gonna need a headshot from you and a bio, and we'll go from there. I'll do the rest. I'll send you the link and all that stuff. So, but yeah, I look forward to Lonnie being on here next week. I never met Lonnie before. The connections we made are on a social media platform called LinkedIn. Okay, the platform that we're on now. So that's what I'm talking about. You don't have to have seen these people to make connections. Okay. That's the thing. So social media does work if you know what you're doing, if you're working it right, right? So, okay, let me finish this up. So, purpose. Know why you're doing what you do. I do this because I'm a marketing disruptor, okay? So I'm doing things that I've never done before. I'm going against the grain of anything I've ever done, and everyone else is not doing a podcast, okay? So know why you're doing it. I'm doing it because I want to help the hospitality professionals. This is a industry that's near and dear to me. Hospitality owes me nothing. Okay, I've gotten so much from it. I've traveled the world. Well, not the entire world, but I've gone out of the country because of my job with hospitality. So it's been rewarding. Of course, it's paid the bills. We bought houses. We did all that stuff because of things from this industry, right? So I appreciate everything it's done for me. So my job is to give things back, is to talk about the industry, but share everything with it. I mean, if the good, the bad, the ugly, I always say that, right? That's what hashtag Hospitality Unplugged is when it comes to this show. So, but most of the stuff that I share, it's all positive, and how we can move past this whole whatever pandemic variant, whatever it is. Um, but like I said, my job is to share those things. There's people that listen to the show that that know nothing about hotels. Maybe they may have they stayed at hotels, but how to get the best deals, or book direct. Maybe they don't know anything about meetings, how to plan a meeting. That maybe they just got thrown something on their desk like, hey, I need you to plan this meeting. They may not know how to do that, but maybe they learned something here about social media or whatever. Maybe meetings, maybe social media, maybe how to brand their brand, themselves. I mean, that's what this show's about. So, and it transcends to other industries, but of course, the the industry that I'm gonna talk about the most is hospitality, because that's what I know. I've been in this industry, 14 different hotels, about 30 years. Okay, so of course that's gonna be the most thing that I talk about, right? So, passion. Either you have it or you don't. Okay, if I didn't have a passion for doing this, I wouldn't be doing it. Okay, I'd try something else. But you have to have passion. So whatever you're doing, whatever that is, have passion for it. And number three is perseverance. Be consistent, continue to evolve, don't give up, and swerve when you need to. Now, you guys know there's a difference between swerving and pivoting. Everyone else used the P word. I use the S word. Okay, the difference between pivot and swerve is pivot, you're already in the mess, okay, and you're just kind of, well, where do I go now? Do I go this way? Do I go that way? Swerving, you see the mess in the horizon and you swerve around it. You go around it. You don't go into it, you go around it, okay? So that's the difference between pivot and swerve in the world of Russell of Hotels. So on Russell of Hotels show, we swerve. We don't pivot. Okay, so that's the difference. Use this time to develop yourself, separate yourself from the pack, learn something new, invest in yourself, and always stay relevant. Focus on what you can control, because there's going to be a bunch of crap. People are going to throw crap at you, but you can't worry about that noise. Okay, just move forward, let that stuff go, because they ain't got nothing to do with you. All right. So anyway, that's it. I wanted to thank you again for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. And read the ticker at the bottom. It says, thank you for joining On Air Russell of Hotels. Next week's guest is Mr. Lonnie Wolf. He's with the Art of Housekeeping. We're going to talk about some stuff, because, my first experience in the hospitality industry was in housekeeping. Okay, so we're going to talk about some stuff. He doesn't know the questions that I'm going to ask. I don't know what he's going to say. So it's going to be one of those shows. It's going to be hospitality. It's going to be hashtag Hospitality Unplugged. So until then, you guys have a great week. I want to thank everyone for joining. I want to thank Lonnie. I want to thank Marsha. I want to thank Craig, Pierre. It works if you're working it. Yes, sir, Pierre. I want to thank Mr. James Brown. Appreciate you coming in. Mr. Dylan Beaumont.
Russell of Hotels.
I want to thank everyone. I want to thank Robin with Don't Look Under the Bed.
From hotels to influencers.
So you guys have a great week, and we'll see you soon.
We will feature guest interviews with hospitality professionals who will share their experiences. Your host, Russell Edmond, has spent over 25.
And I'm sorry, I had the wrong. I pushed the wrong button.
Thank you for
so you're
joining
hear it again.
On Air with Russell of Hotels.
Peace.
Please tune in every Tuesday at 1 p.m. as we talk to other hospitality professionals. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, Try not to be a person of success, rather, become a person of great value.